So I found out about last night. Well, by the time this is uploaded, it'll be the next day. So I found about Stanley passing, and yeah, this came really out of nowhere for me. Well, people have been thinking about it, I guess, for the past few years now because Stanley just passed away at the age of 95, and so he's been in his 90s for quite a while. And then Marvel also announced that they were shooting some of his cameos ahead of time in the movies as well, which people always speculated was because of his age. But yeah, even though despite that, I still wasn't expecting him to pass away so soon, which is well, I guess you don't really expect anybody to pass away at a certain time. But yeah, I know this is a gaming channel and whatnot, but still, it's pretty relevant considering he has a lot of video games based off of his characters. I mean, there's like a ton of Spider-Man games, some X-Men games. I heard the Legend ones were pretty good, but never played them. And I did play the X-Men arcade game back in the day with my older brother a bit, and I played it with my college friends back a few years ago. I think about 2014, 2013. Yeah, and then also the best Spider-Man game just came out last month, Insomniac Spider-Man. Well, I haven't played it myself, but a lot of people on the internet are claiming it to be the best, maybe even better than the Batman Arkham Asylum games. But I can't speak on that yet. Yeah, I mean Stanley's death is just uh, it feels really tragic, especially for those people who grew up with his characters. I didn't start getting to comic books until I was 19, but I've always been fascinated by superheroes since I was a little boy. Probably the two most superhero cartoons I watched were Batman the Animated Series and the X-Men Animated Series cartoon. Yeah, those are my two favorites. And actually, Batman's my favorite superhero, but if I want to probably put somebody in second place, it might be the X-Men. But yeah, Stanley's so responsible for making like most of the big names in the Marvel universe. I think he created Spider-Man, of course, which is his most well-known character. The X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Incredible Hulk, Silver Surfer. Um, I think he also created this version of Thor, their version of Thor. Um, I'm not sure if he created Ant-Man or Wasp, but he also created Iron Man and Doctor Strange, I think, too. Black Panther, of course, which blew up this year because of the film, and it's just crazy. It was a cultural phenomenon for Black people across the whole diaspora. Yeah, he created a lot, not to mention a lot of side characters of villains like Mary Jane. I think he created Gwen Stacy too, and then he also created Doctor Doom. Yeah, that's a whole lot of legacy right there, and just he also had a big impact in shaping this current film industry because a lot of the movies out here are trying to emulate the success and formula of the Marvel movies. Nobody's really got to creating their own universe really as well as Marvel. Closest is probably DC, but it had a very large impact on the media. I think as in Japan they even have like superhero stuff. I know there was a Japanese Spider-Man show, and then you also have superhero stuff like One Punch Man. Um, what else? I know the Power Rangers were inspired by some. They were originally some Japanese superhero group. I think Super Sentai or something, and Kamen Rider. I'm not sure if they were directly inspired by Spider-Man, but superheroes started over here in America, and then they went over to Japan, and Stanley might have been influenced on them. Something else, but yeah, actually I had the opportunity to meet Stanley one time. It was 2014. Yeah, no, it was 2015. I was at HeroCon in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he had a meet and greet with him. You had to pay money to meet him and take a picture with him, and I think autographs too. My friends didn't want to stand in line and pay for it. And I sort of wanted to meet him too, but I was feeling like I'm not really that big of a comic book nerd anyway. Um, so I don't really think I would want to wait in all that lines and pay that money. But now that he's passed away, I feel like I should have did it because I don't have opportunity to meet him anymore. Yeah, he from the interviews and stuff, he always seemed like a very nice guy and individual. But yeah, he'd been doing cameos even before the Marvel Universe, the movie verse anyway. I think the first time I remember seeing him was in the Spider-Man cartoon in the '90s when Spider-Man was traveling to different dimensions and he met Stan Lee in that one. And I know he did. He also did one of the characters in the Black Panther cartoon that came on BET, and that's all I could think of before the actual movies. Yeah, I mentioned the movie verse though. I was 18 years old in 2008 when the first Iron Man movie came out, and so nobody was really expecting it to be that good. Not even myself. I went to go see it just because I'm a nerd and I'm going to see superhero shit. But yeah, nobody really knew just how much it was going to blow up. And I remember I was going to ITT Tech immediately after I graduated from high school that same year. And we were talking about the Marvel movies and whatnot, how they were planning on Avengers, Thor, and everything. And none of us at that point knew just how successful it would be. I think somebody said they weren't going to make a Doctor Strange movie. He's not big profile enough, but they end up doing it. And it did really well. I also really enjoyed some of the few Marvel-based video games I played. I played three of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, with the first one being my favorite. Two felt too much a mess. I know they just threw a lot of assets together from other games, which makes it feel like a mess to me. And then while I love the roster of Marvel's Capcom 3 in the Ultimate version, I just never got used to those controls. And the Incredible Hulk game that came out for the PlayStation 2, I played a demo of that. That was pretty fun for the short time I played it. But yeah, I don't even think I played any of the single player Marvel games. I'm definitely gonna get the Insomniac Spider-Man whenever I get the money and opportunity and get my PlayStation 4 here. Um, yeah, man, it's still quite a shock to see him go. He still has some cameos coming up in the Marvel Universe. I'm not sure to which point they stopped shooting his cameos. I suspect it's just for Avengers 4, Captain Marvel, and the next Spider-Man movie. But outside of that, I don't know. It's really also sad that he won't be able to see how Avengers 4 turns out. But he has seen a lot of good adaptations of his work, like all these really dope interpretations of Spider-Man, uh, X-Men, and etc. But yeah, man, it is kind of sad. I almost feel like crying myself from some of the comments I've been reading from online in regards to Stan Lee. As people speak about how they grew up reading his comics, particularly Spider-Man. You remember Stan Lee had a couple of TV shows on Sci-Fi Channel, I think around the mid 2000s. One was Stan Lee's Superhumans, which he found people around the world that had like weird abilities, not necessarily superhuman. Like some guy could stick metal to his chest, anything with a smooth surface. There was a guy who like spit water from his stomach, sort of like a fountain, and somebody with echolocation, stuff like that. And then there was also another one where there was like people had to come up in a competition to make up their own superheroes. And Stan Lee was one of the judges for the contests. And I remember one guy broke down crying to him, told him how he grew up with his comics and how Spider-Man got him through a rough time. Yeah, that was really touching to see. I know those people right now, particularly feeling strongly about this. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. I guess I'll see y'all guys next time for my next vid. But yeah, that's all about to say about this. I guess I'll see y'all guys next time in my next vid. Bye.